So here's the backstory. Now this is petty revenge, so don't expect much, and I'm typing this on my phone, so I'm sorry about the format. A year and a half ago, my partner and I bought our first home. It is a lovely little 3-bed semi-attached with a front patio. There is no back garden as a house is attached at the back. Since moving in, it has been wonderful. All our neighbors are lovely, and we have gotten on really well with them all. Well, we have tried to. Our neighbor next to us is slightly overbearing when it comes to what we do in our garden. There were 3 small trees on our side of the fence next to her side. When we moved in, the only big plants in this patio area were 3 trees, a row of conifers next to the road and gate to stop people looking in, and a wisteria and on the front of the house. The trees have overgrown and dangling in her garden. We had just moved in, and the first thing she said to us was that the trees need sorting. Not a problem. Didn't want to upset anyone, so we cut them back and pulled all the branches off that dangled on her side. At this point, I got a bit snippy happy with the shears and cut the trees right down. Don't worry, they are fine and growing back upright and not out. One of them was next to the shed and was tiny and not doing well, so I decided to cut it down completely. It was about 4 foot tall, so didn't go over the fence. When she came back, she leaned over the fence whilst we was in our garden and proceeded to try and calmly tell us that she has lost privacy in her garden. I say calmly, she was almost spitting feathers through gritted teeth. We just said, oh, they will grow back, and that we needed to clear it out as the wisteria was attaching itself to the tree and going up into the roof tiles. Well, just don't cut it anymore. Okay, once again been in the house 3 months and didn't want to upset anyone. At this point, being a woman, I knew what this other woman was like. My partner, however, didn't get it. But this will change. At this time, she asked us what we are going to do with the shed. Now this garden shed is adorable. It had a little vine growing around the trim of the roof with flowers that dangle down all around it. So I wanted to paint it a sort of dark plum purple to make the white flowers pop even more. After I said this, she said, "Oh, you can't paint it that color. I will have to look at it. I think you should just leave it as it is or stain it the color it is." Now I was spitting feathers but through a shut mouth. Couldn't believe it. The audacity of someone telling me I can't paint my shed a color I want in my garden because she would have to see it. The bit she would only see is the back of it, as that sticks out above the fence and we can't even get to it to paint. But again, my partner said he didn't want to upset the neighbors, so we left it alone. Fast forward to yesterday. We had friends over cooking pizzas in the garden and have a good catch-up. She has returned home and leaned over the fence again. She recently had some work done in her garden to drop the curb and give herself a little driveway. I said it looked really good and made small talk as she leaned over the fence. My partner says to her that the fence between us needs cleaning. It's gone green and we wanted to paint it. Well, it is my fence, you know. This sudden change in the tone was mental. My friends are just sat there staring at her, and I'm feeling this sort of weird second-hand embarrassment for her. So my partner says that's fine, but can we clean our side of it with the Karcher? Her response, "I use a paintbrush with bleach water to clean it, so that's how you can do it." My partner and her went back and forth about it in a calmish manner, but she was getting more irate, and after noticing the air was getting more stale, I said, "Okay, it's getting cold to our friends, let's go inside." Once we got inside, our friends instantly said, "What a dickhead." After this, my partner said, "What color did you want the shed again?" So today we are going out to buy the most amazing shade of purple to paint the shed, and I will wait till she is in to do it with my AirPods on full so I can't hear her complaining. I know it isn't the best revenge, but we have lived here for 1.5 years, and now I finally get my pretty little shed. Edit/update: if anyone wants to see the shed now it's painted. I cannot add the photos to this as this sub doesn't allow it. Please feel free to message me. I will happily send them. She came home and saw it. Edit 2. Well, she lingered in her garden the entire time I was putting on the second coat. She waited until my partner went inside to tidy the kitchen to pounce on me. She came over and leaned over the fence again and asked me, "Did you want me to paint the back of the shed for you?" I instantly think, oh, she means purple. She's trying to be nice and wants to help. So I said, "Oh, maybe stupid ME people." She then goes, "I can paint it white as this," points at the shed color with her hands and shakes them whilst making a disgusted face. Is you know what the fuck, once again I've been made to feel like shit in my own garden. So I tried to be nice and said no, it's not going white. And I quickly changed the subject to the fence. I asked her point blank, "Am I allowed to paint the fence?" She said, "You can paint it, but you cannot paint it black. So after all this, what is going to happen is this. We are borrowing a pallet truck from our friend up the road, and we'll be pulling the shed out and painting it all purple. This rudeness has finally gotten to me, and I cannot deal with it. Comment. The neighbor at the end of the long street I lived on as a kid painted their pretty blue house white, then changed the white front door to a gorgeous, rich lavender. It made me smile when I saw it. I hate stupid HOA rules in general, but at least our current HOA doesn't have rules on what color we can paint our house or front door. OP reply, I wish I could find it again. I read a truly satisfying story about someone whose town objected to the color he planned to paint his house. It had to be appropriate for the historic district. So he hired someone to do a historic paint study of all layers of color that had actually been on his included unexpected vibrant colors. Can't remember what, but I like to think pumpkin orange. Then he went to the paint police and gave them the news. Update. I will do. I'll figure out how to attach them later on. Your mother has great taste. Comment. I would like to point out that most glow-in-the-dark paint is clear. So is a lot of fluorescent paint. You can write an appropriate nasty word to her where it's visible up at the top of the shed. It will only be visible when you shine a black light on it. Put a black light out there. Randomly turn it on and off. If the word is in the shade, it will be visible when you light it up. Turn off the light, no word at all. Using a textured sort of paint will make this even harder to see normally, but see what you've got to do to get a nearly or totally invisible word up there. I teach science. When we're doing excitation/relaxation/atom quantum levels lessons, the students are given neon crayons and highlighters and told to write stuff where it can't be seen. Blue on blue, yellow and orange on the wood, red on the red parts of posters. Then I cover the windows, we turn off the lights, and they have green, blue, and UV lights that they go search with. The UV, black lights, show everything, green only shows orange. This is fun. Use this on the neighbor. Not so fun for her. Husband says you can get 10,000 dandelion seeds for $8.99. You can also take a little hand vac out to a field and collect the white puff yourself, but the bought ones are missing the fluff. Seed ball those with dirt for the self-harvested. Just wait till the wind is right and toss them over the fence. Comment. Also tell her to clean her fence. It's hers. Don't clean her fence, otherwise she might claim you damaged it. But maybe set a camera before so she's not putting bleach water to your plants. If she's pissed about privacy, tell her to do something about it. But then it might be worth to really have something on your side that prevents her looking over. But until then, put something nasty on the fence that she is going to lean in when she leans over again, but something that isn't obvious that it came from you. OP reply. See, this is the thing, I don't want to start a neighbor war. We don't want to live in this house forever, so don't want anything to affect buyers in the future. I think a privacy screen may be a good idea. Maybe an outdoor divider. Comment. My friend bought a place in West London and the neighbor was like this psycho. The neighbor moved in 2022. I'm thinking she might in fact be your neighbor. Either that or there really are that many nutters around. She tried to blame my friend, who was having a single-story rear extension added, for the damp at the front of her property. When my friend looked into it, she realized it was the neighbor's own wiring that was causing it. Great level of petty, and please do decorate the bit only she can see. OP reply. How could you even think that was their fault? People are insane. We are in Yorkshire, but she may have moved, they are everywhere. Must make a list of crazy neighbors. There should be a website that you can add to. Comment. Please stop engaging with your PITA neighbor. Yes, always be civil by saying hello, a hello wave or nod your head, then move on. No more conversations, chats or whatever with her BC. She's clearly mentally unstable, miserable and a very toxic person to be around. Do whatever you want in your backyard, including paying no attention to this god-awful lady and what she has to say to you. If you are out in your yard or property and she starts this behavior again, instigating arguments, calling you over, complaining to you or your husband, etc., quickly go inside your home without looking at her or saying a word to her. I realize this isn't fair, but what you're doing with her, talking/listening to her, being nice to her, etc., clearly isn't working here. Plus, she's making you all crazy, then takes further advantage you and your hubby's kindness too. Good luck. OP reply. The irony is that we always just say hi and go about our day. It's the moment I do anything visually changing to my garden she started a conversation. You are right, I must keep it short and maybe not answer her. Thank you. As well. We are going to need the luck. Please leave your story in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to get new update. Thank you.